Hey, it's Vincent here from Vincent Games. Welcome to Arrivals of Ixalan Draft. The first draft I've done of the set, so I will be reading some of these cards a little bit, as I'm not 100% familiar with them, but standouts seem like Profane Procession, first of all. I mean, it's a gold card, but it seems pretty good. And there's a couple of interesting 2-drops here, like the Kite Sail. This card seems quite good, getting a 3/3, and I like Moment of Craving. I'm going to just go for the rare. Evolving Wilds is nice as well, might get that wheeling back if these other cards get taken over it. Not sure how good Aggressive Urge is going to be. Seems like it might be okay. I just want to take the rare and see how that goes. Don't really like taking a gold card first, but it just seems powerful enough to actually definitely be worth it. But we'll find out. And Exultant Sky Marcher seems really good, as does Impale, both double whites. We're not taking Legion Conquistador. Jadeful Artisan just seems a bit far away from where we're going, although we're not really guaranteed to be in this colour combination. We also have some really nice cards in the form of Forerunner. That seems pretty good. There's a lot of good vampires in this pack, actually. Oath Sworn Vampire seems okay. I really like the Sky Marcher and the Voracious Vampire. Both really aggressive. And the removal is really solid too. I'm tempted to take the removal as that's going to be fitting more decks. It may have been better to take the double white Vampire actually. Sending some pretty strong signals, so that could be a mistake, but I just hoping that the Impale will be able to go in more decks. What does this one do? 4 mana. It seems pretty bad. Wow, all the good cards seem to have dried up. Or it's just a bad pack. I might just go for the Moment of Triumph. It's cheap enough. Feels better than anything else, more or less. Oh no, this guy's good. Flying Hexproof, 3/2. It's okay to take that. I mean, it's pretty much filler at this point. I don't think we're in the market for a Direfleet Neckbreaker. It is good if you've got the Pirates for it, but I don't really want another card we're going to have to try and build around at this point. Evolving Wilds seems like a pretty solid pick, just to kind of give us a playable that will be on our deck regardless of where we end up. Forerunner of the Heralds, Merfolk. Okay, so that's the Merfolk tutor. This seems okay though. Oh, it's die, it's not into the battlefield. And the Kite Sail Courser is really good as well, just a nice aggressive card. I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds, as that will go in more decks. That's pretty dreadful. Arterial Flow, discard 2 cards. It could be really nice, but I'd like more of a deck at this point than that. Martyr of Dusk or Voracious Vampire feel like the cards really. Maybe the Spire Winder. Again, if we start to go into blues, we've got the Soul. But I mean, these aren't particularly compelling reasons to go into blue. Much more likely to want to be in black-white because of the Profane Procession, Voracious Vampire, Martyr of Dusks. That's a pretty solid 2-drop actually. But I like the Voracious Vampire. Dinosaur Hunter. Pretty mediocre 2-drop. But Hornswoggle counts target creature spell. Actually, blue is appearing to be open with a really late Water Knot. I don't know how good Dinosaur Hunter is, because it's just not going to be blocked when the dinosaur killing aspect becomes relevant. Whereas a Water Knot is really nice Really nice creature removal. I might just take the Water Knot because we're not. We may have passing all the good black and white cards that were there in that early pack. We may just not end up heavily into black or white. And Aquatic Incursion, 2 Merfolk. That's quite good. Bit slow. Oh, that's annoying. That's really good. And Dust Charger's nice. Spirewinder's pretty good. And I'll just be playing blue flyers at this point. Is that better than that? I'm going to say the evasion might be a bit better. I'm happy to. The reason I'm going for the Spirewinder over the horse is I just feel like more blue cards are here, being sent our way. And the Silvergill Adept's really nice. Each opponent loses 1 life for each creature you control for gruesome feint. Meh. It's a 1/1 that can't be blocked. I think we can do better than that. Silvergill Adept. We don't really have Merfolk, but we're seeing a lot of late Merfolk, so that suggests to me that Merfolk is open. So let's put a rather sad Profane, Procession and other cards over there. So we're just seeming to slowly become a bit more blue-green. I don't think we want Hardy Veteran. Seems pretty awful in our deck. And Aggressive Urge, I guess we'll test out if that's any good or not. Going into green now because I just feel like we're leaning towards Merfolk a lot more. I mean, look at the white cards and black cards coming back round. They're fairly weak or non-existent. I don't think that's going to work. We'll take the Divination. I don't think we're taking either of these two. Naturalize feels a bit better just because of the another Spy Wand. Yeah, we're definitely Naturalize feels good as a better sideboard option against the sort of cards that's going to be relevant against. There's lots of enchantments like Water Knot and the pacifism type effects that will potentially be something we want to remove. Even a one with a wind versus the Sea Lake card. And what is this? Big Dinosaur. When form of the dinosaur in its battlefield becomes 15. What a weird card. And I just don't think we want to be playing this. Target creature with power greater than or equal to your life total. Strange card. It's pretty interesting red cards here. However, I think we're just going to stick with the plan. This could be very useful though and splashable, especially if we have Impale. Death Touch and Ascend. Combat damage to a player. If you have the City's Blessing, draw a card. This is okay. Just as a 2/4 with Death Touch, it seems quite good. That seems okay. I am going to go for the 2-drop though, as I think we want to be aggressive. It's not a Merfolk, so we may just not be able to play the Silvergill Adept. But we still play it, I suppose. But my default at the moment is to just be aggressive. So I'd rather not take like 4 drops that are not necessarily going to do an awful lot. Oh man, could have maybe had a really nice vampire deck, but it wasn't to be. 7 mana for an 8/5. And the more this pack is going on, the more I feel like we're in blue-black anyway, rather than blue-green. I think I'm kind of happy with that, because this is a pretty solid card. As if we can't play that many good 2-drops, then perhaps we'll just be killing the ones our opponents are playing. Means we can play both Impale and maybe a Voracious Vampire. Target a vampire, yeah. Maybe not the Profane Procession. We could splash for the Profane Procession still, which is really nice. And Sky March Aspirant's really good, but we're not really going that way. That feels like a trap. Guiltgrove Stalkers seems pretty good. Sailor of Means is Sailor of Means. I think we want to move away from green. We're just not getting anything remotely like the good, reasonable 2-drops, but another Silver Gilt Adept. It's really kind of clunky in our deck, but at least for late in the game, it's something to do with our mana. And the more we have, the more that can reveal it off itself. This guy is really good though. I'm tempted to let the Silver Gilt Adept go, even though it's really good, and take the Deadeye card, because we have, having had that like this solid Merfolk wheel will come around late anyway. Last pack, I'm tempted to think that might happen again. So as tempting as it is to just take the Silver Gilt, I'm going to take that guy because he seems really strong anyway. What? And then we might just wheel a Silver Gilt Adept, but no, we'll get the same choice in the next pack. I mean, this just kind of echoes my decision. But now, what is the pick? I mean, we have 3 fairly solid 4-drops. I mean, multiples of the Deadeye Hauler seem really good. And I'm tempted to now not take the Silver Gilt, because if we give the Silver Gilt and the Deadeye Rigger, I just feel like they're less likely to just pick multiples of those. Although if someone's now moved into Merfolk, they're just going to hoover up the Silver Gilt Adepts anyway. Negate's okay. I don't know how good that is to actually play. That was probably a mistake, but we're taking it. Oh no, now we're getting another 4-drop. So yeah, always take the 2-drops, because now we're taking too many 4-drops. This is quite a good mistake to witness, actually, because you're taking so many 4-drops. I was light on the 2-drops anyway, but you take the 4-drops, then it means that if a 4-drop comes later, or a 2-drop, between a 4-drop and a 2-drop, then you're in a tougher spot to take the 4-drop, because you've already got so many. As you take the 2-drop, you've got lots of those, then you can actually afford to take either, depending on what's better later on, because you've already got plenty at that point in the curve. If you attack with a creature, it costs 1 less, so it's a 3-mana 3/2 flyer. That's pretty good. I think I want that more than the removal. This is really awkward though. And I don't think we can take that. I don't know if we want Miscloaked. Got a lot of 4-drops though. Might have to cut one of these. Probably should have just taken the other kill spell. Yeah, Moment of Craving. I think Moment of Craving was too good to pass up, actually. I think that was just a mistake. But that's fine, I'm not expecting to be happy with all my picks in this first draft. Aquatic Incursion. Create 2. Just 4 mana for 2/1/1 seems pretty weak. 4 mana for a 5. Yeah, I feel like Sailor of Means is probably just going to be more useful to us. Thrashing Brontodon. That's such a good card. I don't like Dark Inquiry. I don't really like Sea Legs either. Dark Inquiry, I can imagine playing. Actually, Sea Legs maybe slightly more. If we go against someone that's hyper aggressive, we just need early interaction, then River Dart is okay. I mean, it's a fairly replaceable card to sit at 3. Can't imagine playing any of these, but I wouldn't mind removing the Pride of Conquerors. Strider Harness +1/+1. It's like a worse Cutlass, really. Cutlass is good. So therefore this should... Oh no, I'm going to take it. I don't think we want too many of the secrets card. And Gleaming Barrier. We've already got one of those. I suppose we could put one in the main. I can't imagine playing this. It seems good as a nice little mana rock. And this is very replaceable. Probably not something we're going to want to play. Definitely not playing that. So we definitely have some stuff. I don't think we can play that Vampire, and Profane Procession is the most powerful card that we have. Definitely something we can splash. We've got 1 Evolving Wilds, 2 Sailor of Means, so that's very good. Okay, so what do we want? So Shaper Apprentice is nice. No, none of the Silver Guild Adepts did come round, so I haven't got those. That said, it may not have been correct to take that many because it does replace itself, which is really good. But we may have ended up in a position where we had a lot of 2/1s, and if we were playing a Merfolk deck, then I probably would have wanted the Silver Guild Adepts a lot more because they're the natural synergies with Merfolk cards. But as we're sort of more blue-black, got some evasion and some tempo in the form of this guy as well, that I think we can afford to not worry about letting those have gone. I think One with the Wind is the strongest card, but I do want 2-drops, and this 2-drop is a Merfolk. I'm defaulting to One with the Wind because I just know that has been really powerful, and it in triple Ixalan. That said, I just could have made a horrible mistake there. Having the 2-drop might have been more important. Windstrider feels okay. We've got a 3/3 and a 3/3. I'm taking the Windstrider. This pack is a bit bad for us. I mean, cancel's the only really useful thing. I don't think we want to be moving into green just for a Snapping Sailback. I mean, our curve's already quite top heavy anyway. And a River Herald's Boon. Again, I think that ship has sailed, so it has to be the cancel, and I'm not really that thrilled about it. Bishop Soldier. That's interesting. Oh, Mark of the Vampire. Mark of the Vampire is really strong. I don't think we want Prosperous Pirates. It's not really achieving anything. Bishop Soldier is actually quite tempting because then black is more of a splash. We could cut the Impale, splash the Profane, the Bishop Soldier, but then we make a pretty clunky 3-mana, a 3-color deck, which is not ideal. But Bishop Soldier is good enough that is tempting. Equally, you could just stick heavy with the black, go blue-black, and then we've got a Blightkeeper, which actually isn't terrible. I might just go with the Blightkeeper, actually. Oh, for crying out loud, I was too slow. So we have, unfortunately, picked this Bishop Soldier, which I don't think we're going to play, which is really annoying. Obviously, we're taking a Skullduggery here. This is a pretty easy pick, which would have been really nice to go with the Blightkeeper. And now we have Stormfleet Aerialist, which again would have been nice for the Blightkeeper, but Skymarch Bloodletter. I have a lot of 3s, but some of the 3s are crap. So we'll play the Skymarch Bloodletter, which is just a stronger card. Okay, that's a 2-drop, so we'll take it. That's okay. We have some vague amount of pirates, to be fair. Oh, and that's nice with the raid guy. So we'll take Siren's Ruse. I don't want to take a random 3-drop Dork. Skittering Heartstopper is really welcome. And we got the Fathomfleet Cutthroat. Not considering Cobble Wings because we have so many flyers anyway. And that'll do. And the Prosperous Pirates came back as well. I don't imagine we'll play the Fire Cannon. That's playable. Apologies if you can hear the work going on outside. It's very noisy outside today. Not, unfortunately, very much I can do about it. Okay, so what have we put together here? We'll just pop the land up here for the moment, just to see the actual amount. Let's see what we have. So, Spell Pierce we're not playing in the main. And Water Knots we are, because it's fairly decent removal. Secret of the Golden City, so that's something we're probably not going to play, but we'll just move it sort of next to the land for a moment, just to kind of separate things out. Sea Legs, again, we're happy over there. I think these are two other sort of random creatures are fine in the sideboard for now. I like Gleaming Barrier, but I feel like this could be more useful in the sideboard. Even though we probably want some amount of 2-drops, but we do have some. And Silvergill Elect, how likely are we actually to reveal off of that? We have 1, 2. It doesn't feel altogether that great. So we've got 4 low drop creatures. I like to put Skittering Heartstopper as a 2-drop, because the odds of you actually getting your one of on turn 1 to play are quite low. So we can sit there and make me feel better about how many 2-drops I've actually drafted. I like the Sailor of Means. It could cut one of those, as I think 2 might just be not quite doing very much. Still got 16 creatures, so probably don't want to cut too many more creatures. This part of the curve is a problem. Quite a lot of 4. Siren Reaver is good. This could cost 3 though, so this is kind of straddling between the 2. And I think these guys are great. This is potentially a 3/4 flyer. I think a toughness 4 flyer is going to be really hard to deal with for a lot of decks, and this is fantastic tempo. So because of our 4-drops are actually 3 of our 4-drops are really good tempo plays between Fathomfleet, Cutthroat, Deadeye, Righauler with Raid, that perhaps we can get away with having quite a glut here. This does make me, because we've got so many flyers as well, we've got 2 Spire Wanderers and Siren Reaver. I am thinking this Windstrider is a little bit weak now. So I'm tempted to remove that from the equation. I have a Hexproof Flyer instead, Soul of the Rapids, which is quite nice. And Prosperous Pirates is good, and it helps to fix only 15 creatures though, which is the bare minimum. We could put 1 more creature back in and go 16 lands, which I'll be happy with, because we have both Sailor of Means and the Prosperous Pirates and Depths of Desire that will make treasure. I have an Evolving Wilds as well to help us get the 1 planes we're going to put in for the Profane Procession, which is really good. I think that's pretty good. So what card are we going to put back in? Could put in the Gleaming Barrier, which I don't actually mind, because we're a bit light on the 2-drop front, and considering it is an aggressive format, having access to something like a Gleaming Barrier, and it could potentially fix as well if it does. So you're more likely to want to throw it under the bus if you can get it killed and produce mana. So that's quite nice. So this gives us a little bit more to do earlier as well. And it's not the worst with the one with the wind as well. If someone's playing an annoying flying attacker, you put a 1 with the wind on it, and you've got, that's effectively a removal spell for the flyer. If it's not strong enough to get through 6 toughness, which I can't think of any flyers, in fact, on their own that would be able to get through a Gleaming Barrier with a 1 with the wind on it. Yeah, I think that's pretty good, considering it's a little bit of a mess, or it's not really any tribal synergies, but there's enough removal and tempo irritating little cards there, and some power between one with the wind and just putting that on something like a Sky March Bloodletter. I think it could be okay. You got Skullduggery as well, so this could be quite interesting. Okay, let's have a look at lands. 17 to 9. You want both black and blue early, so we're going to have 15 lands after an Evolving Wild, 14 lands after a Plains. That means that's probably fine. As we want a bit more blue, that's all our ways of producing treasure. So hopefully the second source of black shouldn't be a problem. So there's 14 lands there plus the 2 we've already put in. So that's what we have. Might not be enough swamps, but we do have 6 sources of black off of the including the Evolving Wilds, 7 with Prosperous Pirates, 8 with Depths of Desire, 9 with Sailor of Means. So, and we only have 1 double black card. So, and Skittering Heartstopper potentially as well. Could require a heavier commitment to black. I don't know. This feels pretty good. We've got the Gleaming Barrier as well potentially. Happy to try this. Not that fussed about Silvergill Adept though, which is a bit of a shame. I don't really want to put a Windstrider in over any of these 2 cards to try and increase the Merfolk count. I mean, what else will we do instead of that? Let's see. So we'd have a River Data, can't be blocked by dinosaurs, which 2/3 for 3 is fairly mediocre. So if we took the Silvergill out and the River Data, what will we be replacing it with? Voracious Vampire has got Menace. And we do have Queensbay Soldier and Skymarch Bloodletter. Just more synergy than the River Data had. And it's a bit more evasion as well. So that could be very relevant. I can't imagine I want to be blocking all that much. So the 3 toughness isn't going to make a massive difference. So if we put the Voracious Vampire in, and then we would need, or then we would have another space for a 2-drop. Could put the second Gleaming Barrier in. Be really defensive. I actually don't mind that. The second Gleaming Barrier in. It's really quite defensive there. And now that I look at this, because I mean, River Data, meh. Silvergill Adept, again, meh. I mean, it's really good, but we just haven't got the support for it. We're not going to be casting this with only 1 other Merfolk in the deck. We're not casting this reliably on turn 2. Or even turn 3. So the earliest we're going to get it out is maybe turn 4 with the help of the Sailor of Means. Reliably, that is. So I'm happy to actually do that instead. As a result, we're going to cut an island and put in another swamp. So that's 8 islands, 6 swamps. It's very control-y, very defensive, evasive creatures and kill spells, which hopefully will be good enough, but we'll find out. Welcome to round 1 with this very first Rivals of Ixalan draft. And this hand seems quite reasonable. All colours, an Evolving Wilds, and a Gleaming Barrier. So this feels like a good keep. So something good to play on turn 2. And double blue as well for the Soul of the Rapids later on. So the only thing I'm thinking about is whether to Evolving Wilds for a Plains or a Swamp. I'm tempted to lead with an Island Go just because I'm not sure what land we might want. kind of taking a bit of a risk in that the Evolving Wilds doesn't hurt us when we really want to play an untapped land, but we'll see. Just hoping to kind of get more information before we crack it for a colour. Don't want to commit too early. Okay, so this is fine. So we can play it now and not be too worried. If we kill the Queensbase Soldier, we want to bounce the Queensbase Soldier and kill the Water Trap Weaver. So we're probably just gonna have to just take our hits really here. I don't really want to bounce the Water Trap Weaver for obvious reasons. Trade up a little bit on mana as well, which is nice. Get the planes. Okay, that was fortunate. I don't think we can afford to just not add to the board here, really. So, as sad as it is, we're just going to play this without getting raid. Yeah, the 2 life on that moment of craving is really nice. Oh dear. Bouncy, bouncy. There we go with our Soul of the Rapids. It costs more mana, they can't target it with anything. Then hopefully we'll get a nice raid trigger off of our own Deadeye Recrawler. It's tempting to trade their Deadeye with our Deadeye. So at the moment if we do that, we don't take any damage. We can take, I think we can afford to take 2 actually. Maybe play their guy. I think we just swing, and then if they block, they block. If they don't, we have a 3/3 we can just trade with. Skullduggery? No. Just happy to trade. Play that. I don't think I want to use the water knot just yet. That's annoying. Tempted to trade here if they let us. No, just killing our 3/3. To be fair, whatever they use their removal on is going to be fine because we don't really have that many quality creatures. Let's attack. I think we're in a spot now. We need to do this. I'll hold on to the land for now. At least represent something. And that's exactly why we were holding off on the water knot, but no, well. We'll just draw one of our other removal spells instead. We'll be fine. Just needs a race. If we do this, then blink our attacker. It's pretty underwhelming. But it means we can do this for another turn whilst forcing through damage. And as long as we're not getting hit by that plunderer, then we're actually winning the race. Never mind. Deck's pretty similar to ours. Removal, some random creatures. Okay, so we're going to gain 1 life and go to 8. They're going to hit us for 3, 4, 5 with this as a chump blocker. Not really seeing a way for us to win, but I'll be able to cobble something together. Would have been better to actually just have both creatures blocking, so then they can only attack with the 6/6, but chumping all of our stuff really trades unfavourably. So we're just not really excited about that, seeing what we can actually achieve from doing that. So we might spend a turn, we don't die, but I just don't think we're winning. Okay, now we have to play this. And say go. So So we kept a Chumper back. They might not have attacked with both of the creatures, but we'd still have had to throw away the Bloodletter to block. So they'd be at 7 life. And we still wouldn't be representing enough power to really kind of punch through. And they can afford to do this now because they know we have to block the big one. So we'll just do this. A removal spell would be good. Well, that's not quite what I had in mind. Some sort of bounce spell? No, just making this inordinately huge. Oh, you might as well. Don't know if I like the attack with the Queen's Bay Soldier here. Perhaps he's got some sort of trick. Or the pirate that will kill my creature when it comes down because of raid. Or having taken damage, however that one works. No, Sailor means. Yeah, that's strange, because if he kept his creature back, he would have had been a lot harder for me to have lethal, because now for top deck removal, he hasn't got enough to kill me, assuming he doesn't draw a removal or bounce spell himself. So, removal spell? No. Yep, and there we go. It's a shame. I had quite a few turns there to draw something. Our kill spell or the enchantment that could have started to exile their stuff, but we didn't get there. That's unfortunate. Maybe our attack at that point was a bit greedy. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the Strider Harness would be useful just to kind of outclass their creatures, because we have very similar looking decks, so that might actually be quite useful just to help get our creatures a bit better than theirs. I actually think Soul of the Rapids is both good and bad because it's hexproof, but also they've got a lot of flyers that I imagine they're in the colours for flyers that could probably trade with it. So I'm tempted to get rid of this and bring in the Strider Harness. Spirewinder's good. Actually, no, let's keep that one because it's got hexproof, and let's just get rid of the Siren Weaver. It's just a 3/2, but with less text. Might be cheaper, which is good, but I have a feeling these games could go a bit long just because we're both playing similar decks, and so the 5-drop might just be fine. We'll go first. And this is a dreadful hand, so we'll mulligan this. And this is not much better. We just need lands. And this will be a keep. Skulldugger is useful because the barrier, we're probably not going to get the most out of it because it hasn't got any power. But when we're mulling this low, beggars cannot be choosers. This will stay on top just because we need to draw the lands for Spirewinder, which will hopefully be a good draw. So yeah, let's just see how we go. Not ideal mulliganing this low, but what can you do? I don't think I want to use the Skullduggery just yet. Do that. If we play the Vampire, that opens us up to use the Skullduggery. I think I'm just going to go with the Spire Wanderer. We won't block, I don't think. Well, we'll block the Fathom Feet Hoarder, stop some damage, but I'm not going to double block if they're swinging with both. So the chances that they have a Skullduggery are quite high. They might just have the 3/3. That kills my wall, but I'm not going to worry about every card. They don't have whatever this is. Goldium fights another target creature. Oh, for 2 mana, it fights another creature you control. When it dies, return to the battlefield transformed. Add 2 mana of any one colour. Or create a 4/4. What a weird card. Okay, so that might be a problem. 4/4 defender. Play out both of these. I don't like leaving Skullduggery uncastable, but we'll go with that. So it remains. Hoping our flyer will just get the job done. The reality is I do not want to transform this golem, because that will just run away with the game. I basically get a 4/4 every turn. Won't be able to deal with that. Swinging with a pirate, if he blocks, we can Skullduggery. Make our thing a 3/3, his thing a 3/3. That is a trade I am happy with. Prosperous Pirates is quite good. Helps us to make Heartstopper deadly and cast Skullduggery. That's annoying. But again, we have the Heartstopper, so can't really attack now because we don't want the Guardian to transform. We're not attacking, we've got no good attacks, so we are casting this. I'm hoping he'll go to make a treasure with that on the stack. Ugh, no, they're not being silly. We can't afford to take continuous damage though, so we just have to do this eventually. Don't know why they're making a treasure. So if I Skullduggery now, then that'll still be a 5/5. By the time it fights, what I want to do is exile the Guardian, then he'll fight it again. Yeah, okay, so we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Try and exile that. So now they're going to fight. So now I'm going to cast Skullduggery. Target this. Reduce that. So now when they fight, at least we get rid of the Dead-Eye Plunderer. And they can't make a golem this turn. It's not great, but we get rid of the massive Dead-Eye Plunderer, which is going to get bigger with all the golems as well. There is no real good attack here. Gone for the Heartstopper, as we can we can exile the golem with the treasure. We will block here. We will block here, and this will probably have to trade with something. I'm going to trade with that. Sadly, time has been against me here. Really see it ending great for us if we attack. Need to make a golem. Recording went a bit funny there, but they essentially just played Ravenous Chupacabra, which was horrible. So we're in a lot worse shape. Where a minute ago. So that's going to block there. This is going to block there. We'll take 5 damage. They're slowly killing their creatures, but it doesn't really matter because they're able just to churn out 4/4s, so they can afford to do this, and it just puts the nail in the coffin even quicker, unfortunately. It's really not an awful lot we can do. Just got absolutely buried by that forge. It's horrendous. We could double block. I'd rather kill some of the other chaff. We do this and then chump here. Go to 1. I think it's academic really, because we're gonna be chumping next turn anyway. And get rid of some of the smaller creatures. So you can just keep playing whatever. I mean, if they just drew nothing but land now, they'd still be great shape. Water Knot. That buys us a turn, I think, because we can do that. But no, of course it doesn't buy us a turn. They still make a golem, yeah. And we only have however many blockers we got. 2 blockers. They got 3 attackers. Yeah, that was really rough. Golem beats. Oh well. There's unable to deal with that card. I can't remember if there was a turn where. No, because we didn't have any pointed removal for it, so there was very little we could do to interact with that. With them being able to just pay 2 mana in response, unless I missed a turn when we could have done, in which case that's my own fault. But yeah, either way, it has not ended well. Welcome to round 2. Hopefully we'll have a bit better luck with the recording in this one. So this hand seems pretty good. No 2-drop, but we got our Sailor of Means, which means we can play one of the 4 drops, hopefully, if we don't draw land, in the event we don't draw land. So seems pretty good. Got the Skymarch Bloodletter, pretty solid. Going second, which isn't great, makes this hand feel even slower. Okay. Feel a lot better about this hand now. Got a nice little Welkin turn there. And no 2-drop for our opponent, which is great news. Prosperous Pirates could be a good draw if we get to 5 mana. Oh, no 3-drop. That's awkward for them. Makes me think we're going to lose this Corsair. No reason to play a Sailor of Means just yet. Swing in, see what they've got. No. So I'm thinking maybe Lightning Strike. So I'd rather than not strike the Bloodletter, and Sailor of Means we're definitely going to play a 4-drop next turn if we don't draw a land, so it's probably better than playing the Skymarch Bloodletter. Oh wow, they didn't even end step kill something. Okay, maybe they just need a blue mana. No, just a 4-drop. Interesting. So options are we swing in and Skullduggery the Thrash and the Sailor to kill it, or just let him block and then play the... Apologies for the noise if you can hear that moped outside just driving around in circles. So the other option would be to play the Fathom Fleet Cutthroat and use that to kill the Raptors. It's fine. Opponent didn't go for it, which is not that surprising really. And I think we're going to use the Bloodletter just because I don't want to crack the treasure until we absolutely have to. Because we're struggling on land really, so I'd rather save it for when if we're really up against it. It would be nice to have the hasty creature. I think it's pretty good. So we're going to take 9 damage here. Let's change things significantly. We make this a 3/3 and that a 3/3, and that doesn't feel very good. So we just take 9 damage. Saying that doesn't really feel very good either, but what are you gonna do? Options. So we've got 4 mana we can play. Play a 2/3 flyer for 4. We can play 1 with the wind and Skullduggery. That represents another 2 damage, so it's not ideal. I think we keep the Sailor of Means back and enchant it with 1 with the wind. Although if they have a removal spell, we're going to take a lot of damage. We could just be dead because we're not really threatening them. Wasn't expecting the haze creature, if I'm honest with you. So if we attack for 5, they'll go to 9, and then we're very likely to just be dead. Going with one of our creatures, and we put 1 with the wind on the Sailor of Means, then we have a good block against the Raptor, and we can Skullduggery as well if we need to. Okay, so we're losing the Corsair. Don't mind doing this as a way to just protect our Kite Sail, because effectively we've still traded a Skullduggery for a creature, and doing this means that they might not attack. Just going in with that makes me think they have something for like a Sure Strike. I'm going to trade, because I actually don't mind trading here. I think we need to get rid of some of these big creatures. Sure. Happy to lose the Kite Sail to a Sure Strike, because it's just a little 2-drop. I mean, it's not ideal, but it's likely that they had a trick because they're attacking. Because they're not going to want to trade the Thrash of Raptors for our 2-drop, so don't mind them having it. I mean, it's not great with the trample, but just trying to reduce the amount of stuff that they have. And if we go with Prosperous Pirates, that gives us a high toughness creature to block with again, which I think we're going to need. Yeah. We've got reasonable blocks, although it just depends on what they follow up with, really. Well, that's horrible. Don't have a way to enrage that. That would be good. Free reign to shoot whatever it wants. Yep. Okay, that was strange. We'd attacked with everything. Could have killed a Thrasher Raptors, but I'd have been forced to chump with the Sky March Bloodletter. Put me to 2 life. I don't know if they just clicked too fast there. Play the Spy Wanderer. We have a tougher blocker. So there is really no way we can attack. Toughness 4 blocker is nice, but yeah, I think we're just going to take too much damage, really. Less appealing for them to attack now, though. But we're still forced to chump, which is bad. I mean, that said, if they do swing in, then we're going to have to lose the Sailor because we're forced to block. Just that. No, and that. So that is quite annoying, to be fair. Can play one. Yeah, I can't play 2 creatures because I only have 2, 3, 4, 6. Ooh, excuse me, 6 mana. So I don't have enough blockers. That was a very aggressive deck our opponent had there. I think we'll keep it as it is. I mean, we could take a Spell Pierce, they don't have that many cards. I don't think another Sailor of Means is really going to make any difference. We'll play first. Only 1 land, so obvious mulligan. Seems pretty good. Going first, a decent amount of removal. I mean, it'd be better to have a creature, I suppose, but I think we have to go with this. Don't want to go down any further. Skullduggery is really good, but I would rather have a creature, and probably just going to play Evolving Wilds on turn 1 anyway. So let's do that. If I didn't have the Impale in hand, I wouldn't be playing the Evolving Wilds necessarily. I'm going to kill this because we have the Impale, we have Sailor of Means, but this has got utility with the rest of their stuff, and he can't tap and sacrifice it now to ping us. So I think the life gain is going to be very relevant as well. As in not taking the damage from the damn thing, so sorry about the noise again if you can hear the most bites. Suncolor Raptor. I think I want to go with Sailor of Means, really. Just more mana efficient, gets us down the land as well, as we're not necessarily drawing land. I really want to be able to play Deadeye Rig Hauler next turn. Just take the hit from the Raptor. If they're going to pump it, then they can pump it. Obviously, we're not going to block because we don't want our Sailor of Means to die. Yeah, it's unlikely they pump it. They want to add more pressure to the board. Okay, we can swing with a Sailor, and then we've got two nice raid options there. This card seems really good, and I think it's just going to be so annoying. I can't actually believe it's a common. I think it's going to be a big part of pirate decks. I don't think we want to block because we're most likely just taking one. I think we can just take the one. It's fine. Okay, I'm not playing anything. Bit suspicious there. Could have that human that has first strike and flash. That is a rare. Are we really going to play around a rare? No. And I bet you that's exactly what they've got. No, it's just a bombard. I thought bombard was 4 mana. That's okay. That makes sense. Blockers. Tempted to play the Fathom Fleet, but I do really want to try and get the best use out of it. So we'll just play this for now and hope we're not going to get punished for not using our mana effectively. Bit of a greedy play, but our opponent's stuck on land, so I'm hopeful they just play that 3/3 again and then block. We're not going to block. Excellent. So yeah, hopefully they just go for it. That's great. They're very concerned about their life total, which makes sense. Gonna make another excellent tempo play. It's like a better Chupacabra, but not really. Oh, that thing. Might have to impale that. Actually, no. No, we won't. Actually, yes, we will, because I don't want... He's got those pingers. I don't want him to ping it, and then he's basically shooting down our stuff. So we will impale that. Our opponent in 2 turns here, unless something bad happens. Ah. Okay, so I think we can afford to play this on that. Now we can attack with everything, because I think our opponent is less likely to block. I did attack with the Sailor of Means before because they'd probably just block it, whereas now, yeah, he wants to preserve his life total, so we get an extra point of damage in, which is really nice. Which means if we can't attack with anything else, we now have 2 turns to kill our opponent with Flyer. I only need to do it in 2 turns rather than more. And those little points do add up. Opponent's starting to get the mana they need now. Oh, playing opponents with really solid removal. So yeah, they're not making it easy for us. No, we don't have a vampire. Let's hope we get in. Okay, play a menace creature. Hopefully that should be enough. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, what have we got? There's 3 removal spells, so maybe a cancel could be quite clutch. Nah. I don't think so. Cancel's better against bigger mana, and they didn't really have that many expensive spells. I think we're probably fine as we are. Probably sideboard more as they get more experience of the format, have more of a feel for what cards are not going to be as useful in certain situations where still quite a lot of new cards. This hand is frustrating. Do have a gleaming barrier. The question is that enough? It's almost like a mulligan to 6 already because we haven't got the ability to play the Impale. I feel like this is a bit of a mulligan. Great. There was just a few too many lands there, and the ability to not actually play anything. Like we're not on the draw, so we're not getting an extra card. So we absolutely had to draw either 2 black sources or blue creatures, or black source and a black creature. And this hand's no good because it's only got 1 mana, and I don't think we can afford to mulligan this now because we're at 4 cards. 5. Well, we'll go to 4 cards if we go any further. Probably have to keep that. Yeah, I can't imagine this going well for us, especially if they're just playing another 1-drop. Yep. What have they revealed? Yeah, they're going to curve out and just smash us up, I think. Which I don't think... Maybe the first hand would have been fine. So it would have stopped some damage. Going to play the Depths of Desire because I want to be able to then play Prosperous Pirates rather than just playing the removal spell or playing the bounce spell. Playing that one because it's 2 mana. I've got to pay more mana to get it back. Flash. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just taking too much damage here, unfortunately. Okay, so we could play Prosperous Pirates and then the Kite Sail, which is not too bad, to be fair. Really want to have to get rid of all these sources of white in case we draw our rare card, but just need multiple blockers. I'm not really interested in attaching a one with the wind just to have it get beaten by some sort of black removal spell. I mean, that's annoying. I mean, I know they got Bombard, so maybe I should have done that to play around Bombard. Swinging with both. Well, obviously I have to block. Just can't afford to take the damage. Just gonna hope they aren't able to draw out of their mana screw and just try and stem this bleeding, because I know they've got another pirate that they can play. Next, okay, let's play a Thrasher Raptors or something, and then I'll look silly. Yeah. Got a lot of enrage. Doing this now because of the potential for enraged shenanigans. Wouldn't normally just main phase something like this. I'm not convinced we're going to do anything but lose this game, but might as well keep trying. I think one with the wind would have been a good thing to sideboard out, to be fair. Thinking about it. It's not very pleasant. And I don't think there is a single card we could draw at this point. Huh. There we go. Well, I only drew 2 creatures there on a mull to 5, so that was quite rough. I'm still not convinced the 7-card hand was actually good enough. You never know, I might have been able to piece something together, but it just seemed too slow and really clunky with the 4 islands and the double black card we couldn't cast, so it was just worth mulliganing, I think, but unfortunately didn't get there. We'll see if we can salvage some dignity from this draft in round 3. Here we are for round 3, and another incredibly awkward hand whereby we don't do anything until turn 4 if we're lucky and draw the lands we need. And Profane Procession is not castable with this either. If we had Island Swamp, I might be tempted, because we'd be at least halfway towards casting Profane Procession, which is powerful enough to make me want to keep the hand, but I just don't see this doing a lot. Maybe I'm mulliganing too aggressively, but I'm gonna do it. This feels a little bit worse than 4 lands, but we've got the Profane Procession and a kill spell, so I don't think we can afford to go down any more. If it's a land on top, we can put it at the bottom. Oh, awesome 2-drop, so that's good. At least we will have a 2-drop on 2. Away we go. Another opponent not playing a 2-drop. Suits me fine. That Soul of the Rapids could be awkward unless we get another island. I would be totally unhappy with the planes though. Ah, oh, just like brick wall straight away. That's going to get impaled. Oh, I got the island. And play the Swamport Island. I'm probably not playing Profane next turn. Go with Swamp. Not much else we can do at this point. Yeah, definitely be killing that vampire. The artwork's pretty apt. There's plenty of flyers that match up poorly against this. The one we have included. Sky Marcher. Oh wow. Yeah, really good. Maybe we'll be killing that instead. That's quite tough actually. Yeah, I now think we're just going to be killing this. And then we can play Soul of the Rapids to trade with that one, which is not great. What do they reveal? Paladin of the Bloodstained. So yeah, we're still not. It's not going to change anything we're doing. In fact, this has got lifelink. Definitely. It's a shame we're unable to play the Evolving Wilds and get the planes this turn. But it's going to put the Profane Procession on the board very slowly. Oh wow. This person's got a pretty insane deck. I wonder what horrible vampire they're going to get. No, I didn't. No, that makes sense because he wants the land. Okay, so that's good. Well, only good in the sense that they're not getting an awesome card off the top necessarily. If we draw planes, that'll be really nice. No, so we've played Soul of the Rapids, then we've got some way of blocking the flyer. Should probably be getting the Evolving Wilds down to then get the Procession down a turn earlier. But I also just want to add to the board, and 5 mana is a lot to get that thing down, so it's nice to just do that when we have the chance. Still might just be a bit too slow. Forerunner's really good. And it's not even a vampire gets +1/+1. It's a target creature, so you don't need another vampire on the table. Obviously you need vampires to trigger it. Still pretty good. I actually think we can't afford not to block this, which is really frustrating. But that's what we're going to do. Wanted to block the flyer, but obviously with the Paladin of the Bloodstain, they're able to get their 4th mana to cast it. It's just going to get silly, so we'll do that. Play that, and play the Gleaming Banner, and pass the turn. Be on 10 if we'd not blocked. Oh my gosh. Yeah, glad we killed that when we had the chance. Ugh. Takes 6 damage. I think we just have to. Probably not going to live long enough to get used out this profane procession. Okay, so we'll be able to. I'll be taking 3 damage. So we had a block with the Kite Sail Courser and blink it, which is great, and draw a card. And then block the 3/3. Only taking 3 damage. Oh, can't. I don't really want to take 6. We're not going to get a better chance to use this. I really want to draw a card. Stops their Impale work. Yeah, that's fine. So I might have to trade the Courser with the Vampire token. Take 4, 5, 6, go to 1. Don't see how we're able to actually deal with this. We need to actually kill the creatures. That was not great. No, we'll keep it like this. I don't really see anything we want to bring in. Maybe a Strider Harness, but what we're going to take out. And they have very good synergies, but they're not massively. They're not hyper aggressive. They build a very good offensive. No, I don't want to get rid of these. They're really good. Yeah, no, I'm just going to keep that, I think. We'll go first, of course. And the hand's pretty reasonable. We can get Island on turn 1 and then play Gleaming Barrier. Yeah, I think this is fine. Not the most exciting hand, but all 3 colours. They're going to 6. That's pretty cool. Play another wall. Just go on the defensive. Land would be nice. I'll be only too glad to Moment of Craving that. Although, do I want to play the Spirewinder? What do they reveal? Oh, another one of them. So, play the Spirewinder, and then we have a 2/3, which they can't actually attack into. Yeah, This uses our mana most efficiently and sets up a turn where Deadeye Rig Hauler is quite nice. So we can hopefully activate Raid and then cast the Rig Hauler. Sure. So we could attack with Spy Wanderer, and then if he blocks, we will just Moment of Craving it, although it does have Skullduggery open. Then, you know, I'm happy to take a risk, because we can bounce our Spy Wanderer, if necessary. And if they don't block, then we'll just be casting Deadeye Rig Hauler. So it's nice that we're able to kind of play around the potential for a Skullduggery here. And we'll just bounce. That suits me down to the ground. Would have been awkward if they did have a Skullduggery there. I don't know, I just didn't feel like they did. Kind of attack. Do I play Profane Procession? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, probably want to, so I can start exiling their stuff. Or do I just play the Rig Hauler and bounce the creature? Doesn't feel that great, to be fair. I'll play this, and then we also have the Siren's Ruse to bounce, to flicker our creature if they have any removal, which is quite nice. Whereas I think the Rig Hauler would have been good, but I was just bouncing a creature. In the grand scheme of things, just not achieving massive amount. Just a slight tempo advantage, which is fine. They now have a 5/5. But yeah, we'll now hopefully be able to just exile that, which is really nice. Actually, we can attack, bounce the Dust Charger, and play the Heartstopper. That'd be a lot better, wouldn't it? Just bounce there, 5/5. Get another creature down, and pass the turn back. So that felt a lot better. Although Pierce Interdiction, and we can still use our Siren's Ruse. To blink that, so that's good. attack with Deadeye? It's kind of pointless. Although we can then exile one of their creatures. Yeah, so if they go to double block, then we'll just remove one of the blockers. I honestly thought they'd have a trick to back that up, like a Vampire's Zeal, which is not great if we, we lose a creature, but happy to at least see if they had it. But they just didn't have anything, which is lucky for us. We might have that, a Divine Verdict, I think it's called, or something that will hurt an attacking creature. No. Play our Siren Reaver. It's really nice. We're going to be able to use Siren's Ruse here to ambush this Sky Marcher, assuming they attack, which they might not, because now we're representing, was that 7 damage back, which is quite a lot. Depends what they do. Depends what else they have, I suppose. Yup. Fair enough. A veritable army. Excellent news. They obviously had enough of that. And yeah, we're going to kill their lifelinker and then hit for 6 in the air over 2 turns, and it's very difficult for them to come back from that. So that was good. On the draw, we might want stronger cards because they're going to grind us out. So perhaps the card advantage of something like Secrets would be really good, just to try and get some advantage back, because they've got some really, really nice cards. So I can imagine wanting something. Maybe the Siren Reaver, just a 3/2, doesn't match up against the 3 mana flyer that they've got, which is, let's face it, is a 3 mana 2/2 flyer with lifelink, because their whole deck is basically vampires. Unlike Sailor of Means, because he's a good token blocker. He's got a lot of 1/1s as well. So I feel like a Sailor of Means might be a bit better than Depths of Desire. I like Depths of Desire, don't get me wrong, but they both make treasure, so that's not too bad, and that actually is a better blocker than just Bounce Spell. Because the 1/1 for 2 we don't want to return to their hand necessarily. So that's a good swap. Yeah, I think maybe the Siren Weaver. Actually no, Soul of the Rapids, we'll get rid of that, because I just don't see that being that impactful. 5 mana 3/2 flyer, and they've got the 2/3 flyer and the 2/2 flyer. Much, much cheaper. So yeah, that feels pretty good. Get rid of that, because it's not mana efficient versus the threats that they're putting down. So yeah, that feels pretty good. And swapping it in for a draw 2, possibly draw 3 in this potentially lifelinky, grindy kind of game. Oh my gosh. What is it with these rough opening hands? Okay, this is serviceable. Probably keep that. just because it's a black source. I'm not ecstatic about keeping it, obviously. But we're doing something. We're playing an island, playing a 2-drop, got Siren's Ruse if stuff goes wrong. We also have the Siren Reaver to curve into, which is nice. Okay, so we don't have a Siren's Ruse. Not a terrible sideboard card against us, actually. I mean, obviously they're hitting the Siren's Ruse. And they've seen, I think they've seen a couple of bits of removal. Yes, they saw the 2 mana -2/-2. Obviously Profane Procession as well. It's their only real way to deal with that outside of an enchantment removal spell. Or land destruction if they're playing that. Well, you know, we've got this, so we'll play this. Away we go. Well, we're not playing it just because they know we got it. We're playing it because that's what we're going to do. Maybe they were leaning heavily on this duress. Let us attack, let us attack, let us attack, let us attack. Yes. So let's just go with an island. Ooh. That's unpleasant. So is this decision, but I think we need to kill this. Although it's 5 damage in the air, they're going to drain us for 1. It's 5 damage and then another. It's tempting just to play the Spirewinder. No, I think we want to kill that as soon as possible. If they duress us again now, I'll be very upset. That'll be awful. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I gave us access to Impale, like definitely for next turn. So if we had waited and didn't top deck a swamp, then we would have been in trouble. Let's do this now before I forget. Definitely want a swamp. Yep. Die. Get the Spire Wanderer down next turn. Oh my days. Glad I didn't leave that back to block now. So I was thinking, oh yeah, well, I'll either hesitated over the 3/2 attack. It's just gonna be a pain. I'm gonna block this. Don't have Vampire Zeal. Ah. I fell for it. Just take solace in the fact that at least they've killed that and nothing better. So what do we want here? We've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we want to add a creature to the board and increase the likelihood of getting a send to work for us. And We're not blocking with this, so might as well get in there. Need to try and chip away at the massive amount of life they've gained this game. And what was that? 4 from that, 4 from the other swing, so that's 8 life they've gained. So they've got 8. Oh, come on. Oh dear, oh dear. Absolute beating. Okay, we can kill something. Probably just have to draw 2 now, which is a bit of a shame. Wanted to draw 3. That's interesting. There was Skullduggery and the other card, or the Queen's Base Soldier and Skullduggery. So 2/2 kills one thing, and then Skullduggery in conjunction with something else. I think we just need the extra creatures. We'll play Queen's Base Soldier and then just try and Skullduggery. Hopefully they don't have a Skullduggery themselves or other kind of trick. 2 cards in hand. It's not ideal. In we go. So, if we block the if we make the Siren Reaver block the Vampire with lifelink and give our Siren Reaver +1/+1, and then shrink that, then we can trade. Alternatively, we could just trade the Queen's Base Soldier for the Vampire with a lifelink, and then make that a 2/2 and make us a 4/3. And then we're definitely using the Queen's Base trade. Either way, it's a trade, isn't it, really? And either way, we're putting our creatures at risk, but I think we need to take some sort of risk here. Happy to trade the Queen's Base Soldier for the lifelinker. I'm not happy, but you know. If the life totals weren't so disparate, then I probably wouldn't be going for that. Okay, that's good. Or they just draw awesomeness like that. Skullduggery would have been nice to get around that, but oh well. Let's play the old sailor. I'm going to have to 2 for 1 ourselves to get rid of this Glorifier. Flying or Vigilance. Please don't have a... Okay. Oh, I thought they were going to play Contract Killing. Yep. Take some damage. Good. Give it Vigilance as well. No. Okay, that's annoying. I can't do much about this. In they go. Maybe it would have been better to block the Skyblade actually, and then do that, and I'll have my creature alive still. It doesn't solve the problem with the 4/4. Okay. Not much I can do about that. Not going to hit with the Anointed Deacon. I suppose I'll just block. Yep. Should power up the Deacon and then come in with him. Hit for a lot more damage. Is that a second one? No. No, that's what he has revealed. Well, this deck's just relentless. Not really much I've been able to do about it in this round, in this game. And I think that's us gone now at this point. Okay. So are we just dead? I mean, if he swings with everything, we block the biggest. So he puts 3 power in the air, which we can't stop, plus the 2 from that, which we can't do anything about that. So we are done. So that was a bit anticlimactic, really. Just drawing the lands near the end there. We've had some pretty rough draws across the games, mixed with some pretty good decks from our opponents, to be fair. And sequencing on my part hasn't been ideal, so it's been pretty unfortunate all round. I don't think the deck was that bad, but it just didn't really work for us. Oh well, until next time, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoy these videos, then please do consider subscribing, as I will be doing more drafts in the near future and more gameplay. Maybe do a Modern League at some point as well. And if you're enjoying the drafts at this point, then leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. It'd be good to hear some feedback and some thoughts, especially if you notice some other misplays in the game. It'd be funny to see what else did wrong there, because obviously new set, probably missing some key things there, not realising it. But no, it seems pretty fun. Seems a lot more interesting than Triple Ixalan. I have enjoyed that format, so it's nice to kind of build on that and try out rivals. So once again, thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned for more.